How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today I'm going to go over some bad financial advice. Sometimes bad financial advice sounds good on paper, but it's actually really bad depending on your situation. You know what's good financial advice is signing up for a brokerage app that gives you free shares. Well, this video is brought to you by Moomoo, the commission-free trading app. You can get 5 free shares of stock just for depositing $100 and 15 free shares of stock just for depositing $1,000. Check out my referral link down in the video description below. Here's the first one. Total price doesn't matter because you make monthly payments. I don't even know where to begin because this is under the mentality that when you have a low monthly payment, as long as you can afford the monthly payment, then you can afford it. This is a very, very bad idea because you can get huge amounts of debt and you're just paying monthly, but at the end, you're probably paying twice as much for like $100 product after you pay all the interest. When you buy things on credit, you're essentially spending future money that you have yet to earn. But it's very, very costly for you to spend future money because you have to pay a high interest rate on it. When you're presented with an opportunity to make small monthly payments, oftentimes it's much better to just not buy at all and just save up so that you can buy the entire product in full. Total price does indeed matter because in the end, you're going to have to pay the entire total price and then some. Sometimes there are trickier situations where you can buy something with no money down and 0% interest payment for the next year or two. They do this a lot for like mattresses or like furniture or something, but the danger here is that it makes you feel like you can have something now. Yeah, you're not paying monthly payments for an entire year, but when it hits, if you ever look at the fine print, if you miss the first payment 1 year later, 18 months later, they're going to add in all the interest payment that you would have paid all the way from the beginning. So you have to be super careful with that type of financing. Even if you have the full amount in your checking account right now, sometimes you might have emergencies and you end up spending that money. And when the bill comes due, you can't pay it. You have to pay the monthly payments and then you start paying interest. The second one, always buy a house is a good investment. I think with any financial statement, whenever you put a blanket statement on it, it's probably a bad idea. It's not always buy a house. There could be a house that's not in very good shape. Once you buy into it, you lose money because you cannot sell the house. The future prospects of the housing market is something that you're gambling on because if you think that it's going to appreciate, well, it might not. It might just be kind of flat for the next 10 years and then you would be paying money into it and not making any gains going forward. So I think it's not always buy a house. It's a good investment. It's mostly always buy a house depending on the market situation and also how much you can buy the house for. Invest in penny stocks. They have a lot of potential growth. True, but this is 1 in about 100 penny stocks and you can't expect to hit it right on the nail even if you buy 10 penny stocks. If you buy 100 penny stocks, well, there might be a chance that one of them can appreciate dramatically. The problem with penny stocks is the opaque financial reporting. It's not very well regulated, so you may not be getting a fair opportunity in making gains because information about the company might be unevenly distributed. Some people might have an unfair advantage in buying that particular stock at a particular time, making money off of it, whereas you might be losing money. Personally, I would not invest in penny stock. It's just a rule of mine. Pay off your debts as quickly as possible. Well, it really depends what you're going to do with your money and what interest rate you're paying on those debts. Some interest rates on debts are really high. For example, personal loans or credit card loans. Usually, you are going to do better if you just pay those off because the interest rate might be 6%, 10%, 12%. So generally, it's good to pay off credit card debts. It really depends a bit on your situation if you need to pay off personal loans. And then harder to decide is mortgages. And even harder to decide is very, very low interest rate student loans. As your financial standing get better and better, you might want to pay off things that are lower and lower in interest just to get rid of your debt and obligations. Some debt indeed is a good debt as long as it earns you money. Save 10% of your income and you'll be fine. This is like a recurring theme. The bad financial advice seems to be that way. They just say, do this and you don't have to worry about it anymore for the rest of your life. Just follow this rule. I classify this type of statement for people who are pursuing regular retirement. If you plan to work the rest of your life at that particular job until you're 65, Yeah, 10% of savings is a reasonable amount for most people, but this is much less than what I would recommend if you're intending to be financially independent really, really early on, like your 30s or 40s. For those people that wants to retire early, you need to look at something at over 50% savings rate. Let's say your after-tax take-home pay is 50K and you spend only 25K you actually put in your savings. This means that if you retire right then and there, every single year, you're gonna save 1 year of retirement. So this 1-to-1 ratio is more manageable. And if you can pump it up all the way up to like 90%, well, you work 1 year and you can retire for 9 years. So, this sounds a lot better. Invest in real estate. It's always a safe bet. This is the same statement as always buy a house is a good investment. But investing in real estate, I think it's a little bit different because I think investing in this sense is probably buying assets in real estates rather than buying the property itself. Like all investment, even if it's real estate, it does not always go up. Over the past 10, 20, even 30 years, it's generally done well depending on the market as well. You could definitely invest in real estate in certain areas that does really, really poorly and you would actually lose money. So saying that always it's a safe bet is always not good. If you have some bad financial advice, leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.